Hello, everyone. Adding a little light to the topic. My name is Joseph Lucier here for our weekly Tongren session. For people that are new, this is about doing distance healing from the TAM healing system. This is actually done all over the world. There are hundreds of thousands of people doing Tongren. And there seems to be one link not working, but we got 2 out of 3. And we are doing a broadcast here, and we have links as I posted for Facebook and YouTube. If this is freezing, we should not be freezing, but let me know your feedback. We should be solving for different issues. And as I say, for the new people, you can go to our place on anusarwellness.com/weekly and to put in your own personal request. Or you can go to YouTube, or you can go to Facebook. And on YouTube, you go to my channel, Anusar Wellness, and you'll find my channel there. Or on Facebook, it seems Tongren Station is not working at the moment, but that will probably come online shortly. So let's begin right away. So we have Eager Soul. These names are made up from the application, but sometimes they are quite fitting. Please tap for healing from dental surgery. Lower right, 29 and 30. Sensitive to cold, beginnings of cataracts in both eyes. So I teach this technique so people all over the world can use it. Blood flow to the brain. So we initialize, just as I do in my bodywork therapy, blood flow to the brain to initialize all those command points of the brain. And for cataracts, I highly recommend bellablurnaturals.com, and they have DMSO and castor oil, which I use myself, or some castor oil, poke root castor oil, put on the outside of the eyelids at night. So 2 options. So blood flow, nerve flow. So C3, this is cervical 3, 4, and 5. The nerves that go to the teeth areas. Sensitive to cold, I would definitely do coconut swishing to build up the strength in the mouth and and there are also these oral microbiome gummies to build the microbiome heat for your gums as well. And we'll work on C3 for the eyes as well. Ouch point for the eyes. Thank you very much. T1 to T8, anti-inflammation for you. So let me know, you give me feedback if you can. Are you hearing and seeing me okay? Looks like we are on track. And let's just check our friends on the internet. And let me just get a piece of information for our technical people that are much smarter than I am at this. And let's continue. And next we have on our list so Eager Soul, thank you for joining. And next is Fancy Legend, doing better. Your bladder is holding more. Great. Kegel exercises are great. There's even a machine that does like tons of Kegels, frequencies per second kind of thing. Looks really good. Less urgency, that's great. That means swelling in that area is going down. More holding power, yay. Please tap for continued healing of your prostate. Nick D, good news. Glad to hear it. Very good. And hello, Edna. Nice to see you. Sort of. Blood flow to the brain, Fancy Legend. Command points of the brain. Command points of the brain stem. Blood flow, nerve flow. And hello to the Rio Trio. T1 to T8, and then especially T7 blood flow, and then nerve flow L3. And CV4 for the bladder, and I would also do castrol packs on the belly and castrol packs on the kidney area as well. And look for prostate-specific probiotics. Garden of Life would be my first choice. So I'm presuming I'm not freezing, even though it is still quite freezing outside, but the video itself is doing okay. Happy Mama, welcome back. Great to see you. And we have G for Evan, G for Laura. Happy Mama, welcome back. Edna. And we'll continue on. Good to see you, Nick D. So let's work with Edna and Happy Mama. For Edna, soft palate, muscle strength. Let's work on the throat chakra area. I highly recommend thyroid positioning castor oil packs with things like frankincense. C3, 4, and 5 for the mouth area as well, and for speech. We'll do some extra work for Robert Burns. T1 for the bones for Robert. And then the nerve tune-ups. Brachial plexus for the arms and hands. Hopefully you guys can see me. And lumbosacral plexus for the legs and feet and ankles. GB17 for vertigo, the medulla, T1 to T8 for MS. You need to rule out Epstein-Barr virus infections. And thyroid, so let's do the pituitary. Don't forget about the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis for people that are dealing with the endocrine system, adrenals. Thyroid nodules, C6, C7, and the throat chakra area. Also superior, inferior thyroid arteries. And for the granddaughter, GV20 for growth hormone, and T5 for the heart. And CV17 for the heart as well. Good to see you, Edna. Thank you for joining. There are other great online classes. Tom has a few. I think Charlie is at 9:30 Eastern Time. Jacqueline and Yvonne, mostly Jacqueline, on Mondays at 6 p.m. I think 6 or 6:30, I forget. Check it out on TongrenStation.com. Liver 3 and kidney 1. Okay, and let's do a quick check to see if people are checking in from social media, and they are. And I am frozen again. Maybe it's just the time of day. Frozen. Should I sing the song, or what do I got to do to get through this for people? Because I did a test and turned off stuff, rebooted my computer. I just did this again. Wow, this is... Hey, let me just get this started. Okay, I just want to get the information going to the people, because I think when I come off that I will be losing the chats. And let's get that. Just a still pics audio today. Wow. What am I wearing black plaid? Let's see what we're doing. I'm going to look myself. I thought I fixed this. I did a real test. Let's see on my computer, and put in other requests. How many days till spring now, guys? I think it's 20. And we have this weekend time zone changes. And we should be all set. Okay. Sorry for the delay there. Just trying to get this information. Okay, let's continue and respect everyone here for your time. I apologize. So let me try one thing because it looks like it's set up right. And I don't, oh, let me see if I can. It is, and I see myself frozen in time. Space-time continuum. I am probably on a parallel universe. Sorry about that. I was just going to do a screenshot, but of course the screenshot will be frozen. All right, here we go. Let's continue on. We worked with Edna. Happy Mama next. And Evan. Happy Mama, Laura, and Evan. Great. Blood flow to the brain. Command points of the brain. And continued stellar reports from Sherry. So, T1 for the bones. T1 to T8 for the lymph and inflammation, especially T3 and T7. Cranial sacral fluid for everyone. The microcosmic orbit from the Crystal Palace. Brain stem command points. But Crystal Palace, the ventricles pumping the cranial sacral fluid down to the interface at the brainstem, GV17, specifically for the bones and bone marrow. An extra point GB39 for the bones, because the bones are the factory for blood. White blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets. I think I know how to pronounce that after all these years. Keep up the good work, Sherry. Next, Laura for sinus infection. Sorry to hear that. One of the best things you can do is what I use is called Sinurega. It is saline, oregano, nasal cleanser. It comes in a squirt bottle or a squirt thing, a squirt bottle, okay? But it will totally sanitize the sinuses. And just keep doing it, and then the opportunity for infection will be gone. And then internally, oregano or black seed oil, those two things. But let's do it with Tongren as well. So let's start at the top. GV 20 and 22, hypothalamus pituitary, the balancing of the hormones. C3 for the sinuses. C6, C7, more hormone balancing. T1 to T8 for inflammation for Lara. And I guess I need to keep speaking. If I am frozen, I need to keep speaking because there will be silence without seeing what's going on. So I will continue to speak constantly and continue. So there we go for Laura from the Happy Mama Trio. From our neighbors to the north, neighbors and friends from the north. So liver 3 and kidney 1. Next, we work with Evan for newly diagnosed IBS. I would highly recommend aloe vera juice. The company Aloe Answers is like a medical grade, so I would recommend that. But let's do blood flow to the brain. Command points of the brain. Look on the vagus nerve connected to the gut-brain axis. And any itis, T1 to T8. How old is Evan? How old are you, Evan? And let's work for the IBS directly. T11, T12, L4, L5, the microbiome. Fermented foods or gut shot, which I learned about from Happy Mama, actually. Highly recommend it. I recommended it to hundreds of people since I learned about it. Much abundance for all three of you in Tong, third eye, connecting to your true self. And on the right is a cataract miracle point, which is kind of like a qigong chiropractic point. I would definitely look at that for your own interest. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Thank you for joining. Laura, Shari, Evan, as well as Edna, Nick D, Energy Soul. Good to see everyone. Let me know if you're doing better, worse, or the same. I'm presuming that I'm also, I'm frozen on social media. which means it is from the source of StreamYard is frozen as well. So for the Rio trio, my favorite, now I have two trios, the Canada trio, the Mashari trio, and the Rio trio. So now we have two trios. Does that mean we have sextet, 7 or 8, or octagon? Let's take a look here. I just want to check one quick thing. And we are going to work on HP V, which oftentimes clears itself. It says a group of more than 200 related viruses. So I would definitely look for the relationship with they are related or co-present. So I would definitely look into that. So let's continue on. Black and white plaid. Okay. And we will be working with Catherine McGlynn in just a moment. Let's finish up with here, the Rio Trio, HPV and the Rio Trio, blood flow to the brain. Kind strangers waving, which is great. Command points of the brain to initialize the bioelectrical systems and the biochemical communication systems and signaling. I think is a better word to talk about these. They signal to other areas of the body through biochemistry or bioelectricity or even biophotons or simply by charge like through easy water. Lung health. T3 for the lungs. T2, T3, the bronchial areas and the lungs both. Special points, lung 1, lung 2 in Chinese medicine. And CV17, we want to do everything possible for those lungs there. HPV, T1 to T8, L1 to L5, S1 to S5. So let's do that again. Also for the lungs, T1 to T8, and then L1 to L5, S1 to S5 also for HPV. Definitely get tested for EBV, Epstein-Barr virus, which is a co-virus or possibly a strain of HPV is an EBV source. Lots of letters there. So it seems I am still frozen. I wish I knew why. But I can double check that. Let's see if it's coming back. If I refresh my screen on the weekly page. Nope, I'm still frozen and I'm still wearing the same jacket. Wow. So let's continue on. And Catherine, I am frozen. You are frozen here. Okay. Blessings to all. Anta Inti.Qigong. Who is that? I've never seen your name before. And let me know about the herbs that you're speaking of. I'd like to hear about it. We can all share some topics. And Catherine, macular degeneration and edema, blood flow to the brain. So, Catherine, I think you're in the Boston area. Is that correct? I have a solution for your knee. Two options. My brother had a bad knee injury. He went to the Chinese medicine master that I went to get my right arm back from 0%. That is Dr. Ping Chun in North Quincy. The other one is an osteopath in Braintree that I am now seeing, a full-blown, brilliant osteopath. But for sure, if it's still bothering you after 18 months, you need at least 1, 2, or 3, or 4 sessions, because you want some herbal poultices to heal. Helichrysum, castor oil, poultice, helichrysum fixes tendons. Frankincense fixes everything. So you need some castor oil packs on your knees if it's been 18 months. So I'm not sure, before 18 months ago with the rebounder, did you have any history of knee problems? But for now, we want to work on the macular degeneration, work on the eyes, the ouch points. I would definitely use the DMSO castor oil for the eyes. So you say you blew it out on the rebounder. Were you going more than 2 feet in the air? That's my question. Were you doing somersaults? I would not recommend somersaults. C3, 4, 5 for the macular degeneration, GV17 for blood pressure for the eye, C3 for nerve flow to the eye, facial arteries for the blood flow to the eye. Doing patella tracking, but still hurts, and can be, for sure you need to heal those ligaments and tissues. So the guy in North Quincy, at least even just one time, check it out. He'll do Tui Na, as I do, and then open up blood flow into the area. He'll do electric acupuncture, and then he will add an herbal poultice. There's really nothing better that you can do for your knee. I did it for my brother, 4 sessions, pretty much took care of his knee. He still had some issues, but he was still overworking it. So that would be my recommendation. His name is Ping Chun. Patella tracking. I don't know what that is. And we don't want to forget, you also put in a request for edema. T3 for the lymph. T7 for the spleen. and bringing it down. Spleen 6. Nice to meet you, Jorge. Hope I pronounced that properly. Where are you coming from? Peru. And we can definitely work with you on for fibrosis. Absolutely. I just unfroze somebody on our team, much smarter than I am at this stuff, was informed, and she may have fixed it. She may have figured it out. Let's check it out. Oh, I look frozen again. But if I'm unfrozen and you say so, I'm all for it. .630 unfroze, 636 frozen again, I think. The image is unfrozen. Yes, so sure. So sure, yeah. Quincy. It's hard to imagine that rebounder would actually break your knee. It's such a low level of movement, usually 2 to 3 inches. But it could be the somersaults. I warned you about the somersaults. Yeah. The DMSO, castor oil, and frankincense for the knee, absolutely. So the only other thing I can think about for the rebounder to cause that problem, for sure it is a possibility, is if your rebounder is not level, it will be unbalanced and will create torque on the knee. Hard to imagine that the first time you had a knee issue was with the rebounder, but you're telling me the truth and I believe you. And I would imagine that the rebounder was not level. Sometimes different ones have different tensions in different areas, so it might have been imbalanced and did that for you. But it's still 18 months later, so I don't understand how one situation like that could continue. I am frozen again, and I do feel colder. Yes, indeed. So, welcome from Peru. It's awesome to see you. So let's type. My apologies for the freezing, but lung fibrosis, blood flow to the brain. And we have somebody on this call now that may have some recommendations for a fibrosis condition. So fibrosis is an inflammation. So are there any other related conditions to lung fibrosis that may have caused this? So let me know. And what time is it in Peru, by the way? I think it's late, or maybe it's early. Oh yeah, it's earlier. So you're right on track. .638, same time. Wow. Must be just a straight line. Shows about my geography. I need to learn better. But I'm impressed. I'd like to go to Peru. I have friends that have gone to Peru. So sit with your feet flat, Jorge, and palms face up, and breathe in through the nose and relax. And we will work on every point related to the lungs. So CV17 for the lungs. What comes to mind, and the people from the Rio Trio can help me, is proteolytic systemic enzymes like serrapeptase. Would be a good first start. And Catherine, do you see a regular acupuncturist? This is kind of advanced with 3 parts: electric, acupuncture, poultices, Tui Na. That's really the combo that got my arm from 0%. My brother's knee as well. But I would definitely use castor oil and helichrysum for tendon recovery. Yes, Jorge, it would be systemic or proteolytic enzymes like serrapeptase. These are protein consuming enzymes, and they find stuff in the body and clean it up. Fibrosis is an inflammation sometimes caused by smoke or chemicals, and it is for Veronica, autoimmune disease. Okay, thank you for the information. So let's work lung 1, lung 2. If you can see me, I hope I'm unfrozen. Okay. You can see me, but I'm not moving. That's not optimal. The video is not protein consuming enzymes. Correct. But the trick is to take them in between meals. So it will not consume food, it will consume other things. So that's one first idea. And I'm going to go back and check with an expert on lung cleansing. And then NAC, something called NAC, antioxidant. And that would be another one. Okay. So CD17 for the lungs, lung 1, lung 2 for the lungs, T1 to T8 for anti-inflammation, and T3 for the lungs. So those are proteolytic enzymes like serrapeptase, SERAPEPTASE, and those come in megadoses. So keep coming. And NAC was used a lot, even for myself, during COVID because the lungs are impacted. Deep breathing exercises, which will basically exercise and open up the alveoli. Hopefully the breathing is not negatively impacted. They can breathe okay, I hope. And in your name, it's Qigong. So I'm guessing that you do Qigong, which is great. And T1 to T8 for autoimmune. And grounding to liver 3. And kidney 1 for Catherine, Jorge. And let's get back and let's try one more time. If I am unfrozen, I tested this, it worked. Might be something about the time of day. Oh, I saw me move for a second. I see me moving now. And I am frozen again. So it's something about bandwidth at nighttime, possibly. Heaven is 34. Okay, thank you very much. We did the Rio Trio. Evan is 34, young. And let's continue on. And Jorge, you're on the website too, which is great. Thank you very much. Young Health, Kind Stranger, HPV, we've done that. And Relaxed Soul, colon cancer metastases to the colon and lungs, blood flow to the brain. So for prevention of metastases, Dr. Rath has a micronutrients formulation. Number 1. Number 2, 8-herb Essiac. Number 3, clay, which interferes with the aggregation of cancer cells, so it breaks it up so it doesn't come together. So those are 3 tips for anti-metastases. Of course, the 4th is a biomat, ideally a crystal quartz biomat that has been proven to be anti-metastases, anti-cancer. You can check out the book Victory Over Cancer by Dr. Rath. That's one for the micronutrients person. So let's work right on the colon directly. L4, L5, S1, S4, S5. Right side pelvis and right hip pain, T1 to T8 for the pain. Happy to help. Relaxed soul. The audio is okay. Hip to hip, lumbosacral plexus. Right side pelvis, hips area. Lungs, T3. Lung 1, lung 2. CV4 for the colon area as well. And hello, Edna. Again. And wow, we've got quite a few requests we will catch up on. Audio is perfect. Okay, let's work for Hashimoto's tune-up, dry eyes, clarity, and for Ferris. Blood flow to the brain. Command points to the brain. We'll work on eyes for both. At least I have a nice crowd. People like Intelligent Being, Caring Creature, Ferris, all good people. Hashimoto's tune-up, C6, C7, GV, governing vessel 20, pituitary, C6, C7, extra support, superior inferior thyroid arteries, and throat chakra area for Intelligent Being. CV17 for the heart for Ferris, his mom. Constipation, definitely ozonated magnesium oxide. Difficulty walking, GV17 for balance. T1 to T12, all the nerves. And difficulty walking, let's enable the nerves. Lumbosacral plexus. Good to see you, Lena. Thank you for your support. Don't know why we're still getting issues freezing. I'm presuming I'm still frozen, and that makes sense because it is going to snow tonight for sure. Black plaid, thank you. Wearing black plaid, that means we're on today. Yep, and I worked for Rachel, the Rio Trio. We got that. Evan is 34. And Jorge, you're studying Tongren. If I can support you in any way, we have a community of people that meet together to talk about Tongren. Lung fibrosis, yep. So those points again, T3 for the lungs, lung 1, lung 2, Chinese medicine point for the lungs, CV17 for the lungs, and the laser is really good for that as well. And then T1 to T8 for any itis or isis, osis, for any inflammation, T1 to T8 for inflammation. Her name is Veronica, and you lives in Lima. So those are the points that I would recommend, Jorge. Yes, I worked on lung health specifically. In fact, for a few people. Do I recommend SCAC as a prevention of disease? Absolutely. And I'll work on lungs again. No problem. SCAC as a prevention, absolutely big time. I recommend it to everyone. There is a full 3 ounces, 6 ounces 3 times a day for active conditions, and then 3 ounces 2 or 3 times a day for maintenance forever. It's anti-inflammatory. It is a blood cleanser. It is immune builder. So let's work as we just did for Jorge, the lungs, blood flow to the brain. Maybe somebody is skimming through the event, didn't hear me work on the lungs. Maybe that's what it is. Lung 1, lung 2. Fluid under the patella from inflammation. Pain that can resolve spontaneously. That is when healers from a parallel universe work on our bodies, heal it, and then they leave and the healing is done. That's how that works. So a good place for the patella, bladder 54 behind the knees, stomach 36 for everyone with the knee issues, and the knee for Catherine and for Rachel. Wasn't there a famous movie, Patella? Some guy was yelling Patella. 20s, 30s, or 40s movies. I think it was maybe On the Waterfront was the name of the movie. T1 to T8 for inflammation, which is also for mast cell activation syndrome. Check your homocysteine levels, your B12 levels, which can help with the homocysteine and the mast cell activation. Check for allergic potentialities. Long-term COVID, definitely the cleanse from Dr. Goop. There's a great product. In addition to everything that you're doing, foreign protein cleanse, T1 to T8. boost the immune system for COVID. NAC to protect the lungs from COVID. Got to build the immune system up so that the mast cells don't have, so the tolerance for mast cell activation is lowered. And for COVID, lung 1, lung 2. And what are your symptoms for long-term COVID? So Esther, thank you for joining. She has a great a great technique when we are frozen. She closes her eyes and imagines that I look like, what's that guy? I can't remember now. Oh, Clark Gable. And as I'm tapping, so if you close your eyes, I will be Clark Gable tapping for Tongren. That's it. And let's continue on. Sunny Gem, you are next. We will not miss anyone. All right. So let's see, blood flow to the brain. Sunny Gem. Mold, smoke, and chemicals. Chelation IV. Clay baths. NAC for the lungs. T3 for the lungs. T2 for the bronchial areas. Lung 1, lung 2. Oh yeah, I had a knee problem too. I forgot. I did the packs for the knee and the electric acupuncture and the Tui Na, because the Tui Na opens the blood flow to the area. It moves the tendons slightly so that they're realigned, and it allows the blood flow. And then when you put the pack on overnight, it allows the healing herbs to finish the process. And the electric acupuncture, as we know, by electricity. And I forgot, because my knee is all better. Yep. So let's work on CV17 for smoke and chemicals. C3 for the sinuses. Definitely Sinurega, which is a saline oregano oil nasal wash. Highly recommended. And that will also prevent an infection going from the sinuses down to the lungs. And then for the lung infections, I would do a steam tent with oregano or lavender and put a towel over your head and inhale that, and you will do a direct antimicrobial treatment for your lungs. Big time. And SIBO, T11, T12. Cognitive dysfunction, that's not your fault. That is from the chemicals, from the smoke, from the infections. Chronic low back pain, lumbosacral plexus. Spasming is an indication of a possible deficiency of magnesium. I would use magnesium spray topically on the spasming area. Magnesium chloride. So it is 6:40 and I'm not frozen on Tongren Station. How cool is that? Am I still frozen? The snow has not yet begun. Yep, looks like I'm still frozen. At 6:52. And mysterious humans, shortness of breath, weakness, throat, neck, tightness. Okay. So Sunny Gem, we cover everything. And grounding for you, but blood flow to the brain for cognitive function. command points of the brain. And let's go check back. Yeah, we all know the movie On the Waterfront. That's it. And yep, Jorge, breathing exercises, Qigong is a brilliant medicine. It's a medicine. That would be a strong recommendation if you can convince her, but good luck for your aunt. Qigong and yoga are medicines. They're not exercise. They're more than just exercise. They are medicines. Okay, and great human, blood flow to the brain. Migraine. Gallbladder 20 is a migraine point. And not able to lift legs. Can you give me more information on that? Rhabdomyolysis. I'm going to take a 30-second search for that. Let's see what that is so we can have more detail for you. Skeletal muscle breakdown. Rhabdomyolysis, if that is the one that you're speaking of. Rhabdomyolysis. And what would be the cause of that? Exposure to toxins. So lower jaw pain. See 5, 6, and 7. Rhabdomyolysis. Breakdown of the bones and the muscles. Sounds like an autoimmune condition. Sounds like the inflammation markers are probably super high. Unable to lift legs. So let's focus on the lumbosacral plexus of the nerves. I would definitely put castor oil on the lower back. A year and a half now. Definitely Tongren would be good. Definitely acupuncture, castor oil packs, oregano oil, black seed oil, and osteoarthritis. T1 for the bones, osteo, to T8, itis, arthritis. You have not exhausted the 3 wishes. Don't worry about it. We have no limit here. And it's good to hear from you, Esther. We should talk about Masterpiece Theater. I've been binging on Masterpiece Theater. I heard there will be a new season for All Things Great and Small, and a new season, yes, again, for Scarlet. It's no longer Scarlet in the Duke, it's just Scarlet. But it's still excellent. I can't binge on them anymore because I've watched every season. And if you could put in the information, Esther, because I know you are a nurse, if I remember correctly, rhabdomyolysis, what is the actual test and the markers for that? That will give me information as to where those markers are derived or created in the body. Osteoarthritis, T1, hips and knees, lumbosacral plexus. Sorry to hear about all your pain. So there's also, from that same company, Bella Blur Naturals, they have a topical DMSO castor oil, extra strength pain relief. Also, there's a sublingual called T Relief, which is a homeopathic pain relief with arnica in it. So that's what I would be my recommendation. And let's do the out points, the hips. Esther, it's so good to hear from you. And knees. For everyone with knee issues, the Rio Trio, Catherine McGlynn, and her. Who's the guy that yelled patella in On the Waterfront? Who is that guy? I forget his name. He's so famous. He did The Godfather too. Knees also for Esther. Unlimited requests, Esther. No extra charge. And Catherine, good to see you. Oh, yeah, Marlon Brando. He yelled patella in the movie. I remember now. Yeah, that's it. The only other word I remember being shouted was in A Fish Called Wanda. Kevin Kline kept shouting mozzarella. Now, as a side thing, the movie A Fish Called Wanda is brilliant. So anyway, back to what we're working on here. For new people, Jorge, welcome from Peru. Please keep joining us. I will work on the technical information. The brilliant people that help me do all these things are already looking into it in terms of what's going on. So hopefully it will be better next time, but the sound is always fine. So blessings to everyone, and let's do a Qigong. And you can join me, Jorge. We do a Qigong for everyone. Charging the batteries, the upper, middle, and lower dantians. Feet flat on the floor, palms face up. Breathe through the nose. And if you want to extend it, you breathe in, count to 5, hold, count to 5 breaths, and count out. Well, if you're holding your breath, you're not having a breath. So count in, breathe in, count to 5, hold your breath, count to 5, and breathe out, count to 10. That's the trick. And thank you for joining. It's Sunny Gem. Blue-green algae comes to mind again. For all these things, you're still having a detox from mold, smoke, and chemicals. It's not detoxing quickly enough, it seems. Definitely clay baths, clayfoot soaks, charcoal, zeolites, all that stuff. So we will clear the space. So you can't see me, I guess, but we are now tapping the bowl. What I did before, we were doing a qigong, sending qi to the 3 dantians. And if you can't see me now, what I'm doing is I'm tapping a healing bowl. Thank you for joining. And by the way, when we do our session, we are surrounded. We have 3 Tesla biophoton generators right next to me here to amplify the Tongren biophoton transmissions. So thank you very much for your time. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope to never be frozen again. And of course, it is spring. So thanks very much and have a great day.